Hello everyone, hope you are well on this Monday night. It looks like the people of China are rising up in a big way. More on that in a little bit. I'm going to talk about something closer to home here first, plus we have a good verse to share here towards the end of the video. First, Houston here in the United States has had, and you may not have heard about this, but Houston has had a boil water warning here for the last 24 hours or so, and I believe it's still in effect. Basically, several of their water treatment plants lost power, and so what this does is the water is contaminated. So virtually the entire city of Houston has had to boil their water to make it safe to drink. So, imagine, this is a major city. And this is just a reminder to definitely make sure, as far as prep, we talk about food and all these kind of things, but water, 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 that is the first priority. And this is a prime example. You have several water treatment plants that go down and all of a sudden your water is no good. So a lot of people forget about that. And a lot of people mistakenly assume even if we lose power, well, the water's still running. Yeah, it may still run, but it won't be good. So keep that in mind and make sure you're stocking up on that, okay? China, boy, the government there has a bit of an issue on their hands, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. So basically, well, before I get to that, what caught my attention first was the embassy, the U.S. mission in China. The embassy put out a statement today to all American citizens there in that country. They're putting a warning out, and they're encouraging all United States citizens to keep, in China, to keep a 14-day supply of water, food, medicines, and other vital things for themselves and every member of their household there in that country. So 14 days kind of reminds me of was it 14 or 15 days to stop the spread? Kind of made me think about that. Wow. That was like, what, 3 years ago? Here we are. But this is in China, and this is all due to the massive civil unrest that is taking place there. If you haven't heard, this started out small, and one of I can't remember the name of the city, but it started out small, and it has just really expanded across the country to other big major cities, including Beijing, the capital. And so this is in response to the draconian lockdowns that they've been put under again. And the people are just done. I think they're just, I guess when you get to a certain point, you got nothing else to lose. You're seeing more video come out of just these hard measures they're putting down on their people. They're locking them in, they're welding them shut in their homes and their places of work. They're quarantined. They're building massive quarantine camps there. So the people are getting wise to it. And, I guess after a few years like this, off and on, what are you going to do, right? So the people are rising up. There's video coming out of them just tearing down barricades and fighting with the police and setting stuff on fire. It is intense, some of the videos that's out there. But like I said, this has really spread across their country. So I think this is what has triggered this embassy warning to all citizens, all United States citizens there, to put back, to make sure they've got at least 14 days of supplies. I would double that personally, at least, or more. But it also makes me question what's next, what's coming next. What does our embassy know that the people don't know, that we don't know, that's going to be the response? What's going to be the response now from the Chinese government? This is very unusual to happen there. Their people so far have been, by and large, very compliant with all this stuff. And remember, they don't have, this is all in despite of not having a Second Amendment there, So you really have to watch this. I mean, and this is a reminder that we, in this country, we can never lose. We have to do all we can not to lose that Second Amendment. Trying to take it, and they're chipping away at it, but we can never lose that. Okay. But I was watching some video of the Chinese people rising up, and there these massive demonstrations, protests, civil unrest, really you can call it. But but this has gone from just a protest against the lockdowns to more broad, like against the government and against their president. And they're calling for him to resign, and they're calling for free speech and freedom. And so they're letting it all out right now. Will it continue? How long will it be allowed to continue? That is my question. My concern is that the government there may roll in the tanks. They have a history of doing that. If they do, if they really go hard on the people like this and roll in the tanks and really crack down, this could get ugly quick. However, it doesn't look like, at least now, that the people are letting up. So we will see what happens. Now, you may be saying, well, Dawg, what does that have to do with me? I'm sitting over here in the United States or Canada or wherever, or even Europe. Why do I need to be concerned with that? Well, there's several things. First, this is disrupting the supply chain. We already have supply chain problems, have had those issues, so this could further make that worse. So that's one thing. But you could have, this continues, just depending on what happens. It'll be interesting to watch, but an instability in the government there in China. I don't know what that does. And then I think we just need to watch. I think we can learn and just watch the people. I mean, here are Chinese citizens brave enough. I mean, they're desperate enough too, and brave enough to be out on the streets talking about freedom of speech. I think we need to note that. I think we need to watch that and learn from that. I know we have the Second Amendment here, but would we be doing the same in this situation? Would we? I'm optimistic. I have to believe that we would, but would we? What do you think? So I think we can learn some things from watching this, whatever we can get access to. Like I said, this civil unrest has spread to even Beijing, where Western reporters are covering this, or able to cover it somewhat at least, and get some video out. So would be interesting to see in more detail what's happening in the other cities. The word is it's widespread. So like I said, we will keep an eye on this. So, and then it makes me think, what is coming our way? Is something like this coming our way? What's next? What's the next thing to drop here? What is upcoming? And a couple of other things that are kind of hanging out there, people have been talking about, is the fuel shortage. Is that still an issue that's going to crop up? I mean, we're talking about the diesel shortage. Is that still an issue? Is that just around the corner? And we have to keep an eye on the railroad strike possibility here coming up. So I believe that's coming up on like the 9th or 10th of December here. We're almost in December. And, I'm hearing a lot of people are dealing with illnesses right now and sick. Now we are coming into flu season. I have a family member that works at a hospital, a busy hospital, and they're telling me they're seeing tons of flu, just a lot of different sickness, So, and the other virus too. So they're seeing a lot of stuff right now. So just take care of ourselves, our bodies. So let's continue to take care of that, our health. I have a good passage to share. It is from Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 3 says, "A voice cries out, in the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord. Make straight in the desert a highway for our God. Amen. Sometimes you hear me say or complain, where are the pastors? Why aren't they more vocal in these days and in this time? And some are more than we probably realize, but I think we need more. We need that John the Baptist out there in the wilderness. That's probably, may sound a little out there, but he's throwing it down and he's preaching it and he's preaching truth. Okay. We need more of that. And as individuals, any chance we get, and I'm not saying you got to go out of there on the top of the rock and the crowd and yell at people, but you don't have to do that. But in our own way, be ourselves. But if you have an opportunity to share your faith, even in a small way, think about that and do that. You might make a difference with somebody. Even just a couple of words might make a difference with somebody, or just your actions. So let's think about that. Share your thoughts. Let's be safe out there. Be aware. God bless you. I'll see you soon.